Imagine waking up, brushing your teeth, and thinking it's just another school day, and then everything changes in a single terrifying moment. That's the fallout, and today on Movie Recaps Hub podcast we're diving deep into Vada's story, every single beat. From the quiet mornings to a life that gets ripped apart and slowly tries to find a way back. Hey, I'm from Movie Recaps Hub podcast. If you love honest, chill movie recaps that get right to the heart of a film, you're in the right place. Today, we're covering the fallout from 2021. I'll walk you through the whole plot, no skips, no edits, just the full story. The movie opens on a morning that feels ordinary. Vada, a teenage high school girl, wakes up and goes to brush her teeth. She actually dozes off while the toothbrush is still in her mouth until her little sister, Amelia, calls out and wakes her. Vada scrambles, gets dressed, makes breakfast, and not long after, her boyfriend Nick, who's also in her class, picks her up. They play their favorite songs in the car, laugh, enjoy the ride. Nick stops to grab his coffee and even buys Vada her favorite ice cream. It's one of those simple, warm moments that feels safe. At school the day starts normally, until Vada gets a text from Amelia asking her to call right away. Vada asks her teacher to go to the restroom and calls Amelia. Amelia sounds scared, and Vada, surprised, asks why. Amelia says she just got her first period and feels like she's grown up. Vada calms her down, reassures her it's normal, promises to take her out later, and gives practical advice. After the call, Vada wanders deeper into the restroom and runs into Maya, a classmate who's a famous dancer and one of Vada's idols. Excited, Vada texts Amelia. She just met Maya. From a distance, Vada watches Maya put on makeup and blurts out that Maya doesn't need it because she's already beautiful. It's a small, genuine moment of admiration. Then everything erupts. Suddenly they hear gunshots. An armed group storms the school and students are killed. Vada and Maya rush into a bathroom stall, lock the door, and hide, trembling as gunfire echoes through the building. Vada pulls out her phone and sends a message to someone, barely able to breathe. The bathroom door creaks open and their classmate Matt slips inside, trying to hide as well. He's terrified and sobbing because his brother has just been killed by the attackers. He crawls under the stall door to hide with them, and the girls are shaken by the depth of his grief. Soon the police arrive and capture the attackers. But life from that moment on is forever altered for Vada. After the shooting, Vada shuts down. She withdraws, spending most of her time locked in her room, hardly speaking, sinking into a deep depression. One day her mom Patricia, her dad Carlos, and little sister Amelia manage to sit with her at the table. Amelia shows her a list of victims, the names of students who died in the attack. As Vada scans the list, she sees her friends' names and the weight of it hits her hard. She forces a smile to reassure Patricia that she's okay, but inside she's crumbling. Vada says she just wants to take a shower. She stays in there a long time, and when she's done she heads back to her room to try to sleep. Her phone buzzes. It's Maya on Instagram. Vada is surprised, replies, and they start talking. Maya admits she's scared because she's alone. Her parents are away on a work trip to Japan. She invites Vada over, and Vada promises she will go, then tries to rest. The next morning Vada wakes startled. She showers and gets ready while Patricia drives her to meet Nick at the park. Nick opens up, telling Vada how shaken he is. He can't stop asking why he survived. He says maybe God kept him alive for a reason, that one day he's meant to stand up against crime and fight for justice. It's a heavy thing for him to say, and it shows how everyone is trying to make sense of survival. Back at home, Vada finds Amelia and Patricia watching news coverage of the tragedy. Vada scrolls through Maya's performance videos on Instagram and tells Patricia she's heading to Nick's, but instead goes to Maya's house because Maya is the only one who truly understands what she's been through. Maya meets her at the door like she'd been waiting. Vada admires the house interior and assumes Maya decorated it, but Maya says her artist parents chose everything and she's often alone because they travel. Vada tells Maya how much she admires her dance videos and how they make her feel like she could change her life. A message from Nick pops up on Vada's phone. Matt's brother's funeral is tomorrow. Vada shuts the phone off, not wanting to answer Patricia's calls. She asks Maya to go to the funeral with her and Maya agrees. Vada asks Maya if she's been having nightmares since the attack. Maya confesses she can't sleep at all. They go to the funeral. Matt thanks them afterward for being there. Later, Vada returns home and carefully places photos of her friends who were killed into a box between her books. She's overwhelmed by sadness, goes to the bathroom, and can't accept what happened. Sleep becomes impossible. Grief and racing thoughts consume her nights. Amelia tries to pull Vada out of it, asking her to go out for a drink, but Vada refuses, glued to the same spot. Amelia eventually gives up. Later, Maya invites Vada over, and they watch a show together, cook, eat, and Vada asks about Maya's love life. Maya says she doesn't do much besides dance, but after the shooting she hasn't been able to return to classes. That night they lie on the bed watching a movie. For the first time Maya feels safe and calm, and she falls asleep asking Vada to stay until she's fully asleep. Vada does, then heads home. On the way home, Vada calls Nick to explain she told her mom she was at his place to avoid drama. She admits she was actually with Maya because Maya lives alone and is struggling. Vada gets home and watches shows and news about child protection and the need for safer schools. Exhaustion eventually wins, but nightmares wake her in panic. Patricia brings in a therapist, Dr. Anna, to help Vada. In their first session, Anna asks what Vada does when she feels overwhelmed. Vada admits sometimes she sleeps for up to 14 hours and other times she binge watches shows. Anna senses Vada is hiding something and promises confidentiality. Vada opens up, saying she's not okay and hasn't adjusted since the shooting. She confesses she hides her feelings in front of Patricia and Carlos so they won't worry. Anna brings out a book of psychological exercises and asks Vada to answer honestly to help understand her state of mind. Patricia tries to lighten the mood by taking Vada and Amelia out for drinks. But when she brings up returning to school, Vada refuses to get out of the car and they head home. Vada crashes on the couch while Amelia films videos on her phone. Then Matt messages asking to meet up. They see each other and their shared pain is obvious. Vada comforts him as he grieves. The days slide into more chaos. Vada shuts off her phone and heads to Maya's. They hang out by the pool and share a joint. Maya relaxes a little, but Vada loses control. She becomes jittery, rambling, and eventually falls into the water. That evening, Patricia again pressures Vada about going back to school. Vada storms to her room and video calls Maya, telling her she's terrified of returning. Maya says her parents decided she should study from home until she's better. Vada feels frustrated that her mom keeps pushing her. When she finally goes back to school, her fear is visible. She refuses to enter the bathroom, terrified the nightmare might repeat. Her panic spikes when she steps on an empty soda can and wets herself out of sheer terror. She tries to act like the day went fine at home, but the next day she makes a reckless choice. She buys drugs and takes them before school, thinking it will help. In class she behaves erratically, dancing and moving strangely, even biting into a pen and getting ink all over her mouth. Embarrassed, she asks to be excused and goes to the bathroom. Under the influence she loses balance and falls down the stairs. She texts Nick to pick her up. Amelia is horrified and tries to help, but Vada brushes her off and goes to bed. Matt calls to check on her after she sent a text admitting she took drugs. She invites him to watch a movie and for a brief moment feels normal. Matt remembers he has a problem and leaves. Vada overhears Patricia laughing with Amelia in the kitchen and the sound stings. She feels excluded and retreats to her room. The next morning Vada goes through her routine, brushing her teeth and putting on makeup to present differently. Amelia knocks asking what she's doing. Vada snaps and then immediately feels guilty and tries to apologize, only to find Amelia gone. Saddened, Vada gets dressed and prepares to leave. Amelia innocently asks why Vada is wearing makeup, and Vada brushes her off coldly. Vada tells Amelia to tell Patricia she doesn't want a ride to school. She heads to Maya's where they drink and let loose, eventually sneaking out late at night to dance in the street. For the first time in a long while, Vada feels alive again. Because she's not fully in control, she ends up crashing at Maya's. The next morning the family is waiting anxiously by the door. Cornered, Vada lies that she was with Nick. But the lie falls apart when they reveal Nick had been calling all night. Embarrassed and overwhelmed, Vada says she's just exhausted and bolts to her room. Patricia gently confronts her, wondering if Vada is hiding something shameful. Cornered, Vada admits she was at Maya's and that they had been drinking. She brushes past her mom, showers, and tries to wash away the guilt. Later, Vada goes to Nick to apologize. He's drained and bluntly tells her that everyone was traumatized, but most people have managed to move on with their lives. He says he's given her space, but he's at his limit. His words cut deep, and they break up in anger. Vada turns to Matt and vents about Nick. Matt tries to calm her, explaining Nick lashed out because he's scared for her. He says he had to find a way to move forward after his brother's death, or his grief would have consumed him. Vada apologizes for projecting her pain onto him and tells him he can talk about his brother whenever he wants. In that moment, something shifts between them. A quiet, unspoken connection forms. Vada leans closer for comfort, but Matt freezes, conflicted and unsure how to handle his feelings. Embarrassed and heartbroken, Vada gets out of the car and walks away. That night, Amelia slips into Vada's bed crying. She says she feels guilty for calling too much during the shooting. Vada reassures her that she's the person she loves most, but says she's too broken to show it. Vada shares something intimate. During the shooting, when she thought she was going to die, the only person she thought of was Amelia. She texted Amelia that she loved her, convinced those might be her last words. Amelia clings to her sister, relieved. Carlos takes Vada to a quiet spot by the ocean and encourages her to scream at the top of her lungs, to let out all the anger, grief, and fear. It's raw and cathartic, and for the first time in weeks, Vada feels lighter. She goes to check on Maya, but no one answers the door. She slips in through the back and finds a half-empty glass of alcohol on the counter. In the sauna, she finds Maya unconscious. Desperate, Vada shakes her awake and carries her to bed. When Maya comes to, she admits she can't keep living like this. Trapped in the shadow of the tragedy, she had been spiraling close to giving up. Instead of surrendering, Maya decides she will return to dance classes the next day. It's her way to reclaim purpose. Vada promises to stand by her. Maya smiles for the first time in a long while and they take a picture together, a fragile symbol of survival. At Vada's second session, Dr. Anna notices she's written the word fear over and over. Anna asks what moment made her feel the most afraid. Vada says it wasn't only the shooting itself. It was being back at school and seeing everyone else move on, thinking about their futures while she felt paralyzed and left behind. She breaks down, admitting how much she loved Nick and how unfair it felt that a group of strangers with guns could shatter so many lives. For the first time, she lets everything out and sobs as Anna listens quietly. After releasing her pain, Vada chooses not to drown in it anymore. She goes home, apologizes to her mom, and says she never meant to cause so much worry. She tells Patricia she had been fighting a battle inside that she didn't know how to share. In the final moments, Vada goes to see Maya at dance class. She texts Maya saying she's waiting outside so they can go out and breathe together. Maya replies she's almost finished. For a fleeting second, there is hope. Then Vada looks at her phone and sees the news. Another school shooting. 12 more students are dead. Her face falls. The screen lingers on her expression as the weight of it crashes back down. The cycle repeats, and it seems this time she may not recover. The film ends on that haunting note. If you enjoyed this full recap of the fallout, please hit the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to Movie Recaps Hub podcast for more chill and honest recaps. What stood out to you most in Vada's journey? Drop it in the comments. Stay safe. I love you all. Goodbye.